What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and yeah, this is just a little video. As we do, we talk about some of the players we've been linked with, and we try and do this on a daily basis. My neck's hurting this morning, so if I don't move my neck too much, don't worry about it. Yeah, so Everton have been linked yet again with someone we've been linked with for the last 2.5 years, which is Wilfried Zaha. Now, I did mention him in my buy and sell video last night, but do I think Wilfried Zaha is a good signing for Everton? Absolutely. 100% absolutely, because he's a player who can beat people, can score goals, can get assists, can create, can carry us up the team. He's quick, knows the Premier League. And I said something and I made a comment the other day about young, hungry players, and I know a lot of people will point out, well, Zaha's 28 years old, Mike. That defeats what you're saying. I also made in that comment about players who have a point to prove, and Wilfried Zaha does. Wilfried Zaha does have a point to prove, because he hasn't played at the level that he's wanted to play at. And the reason he hasn't is because he's never been able to get his move. The last 3 years, I think it's fair to say that Palace have probably kept him there on a very good salary, but probably against his will to a bit of a degree. And yet you still don't hear of him moaning about it. You know, every single season we've heard that Wilfried Zaha wants a move. That's fine, because he's got aspirations, but he doesn't kick his toys out the pram when he doesn't get that move. And for that, I respect him. He's got a contract which I think has still got 2 years to run on it. He's a player that's going to be about £40 million. Spurs, Everton and Borussia Dortmund apparently are all interested. But he does tick the box at Everton. The only thing I would probably say is around the age. And again, a player like him I would love a little bit younger. But on the caveat that he does have Premier League experience. So I can understand why people are for and against, but for me, I think Zaha would be a good signing, and I've said it and I've banged the drum about it for a few years now. Is he better than Iwobi? Yes. Is he better than Bernard? Yes. So instantly our team improves. Did he score more goals than Richarlison last season? Yes. He actually played less times than Richarlison as well, I believe. So this is someone who not only can create and score goals, but he's prepared to carry a team by the scruff of the neck and drag them to a result. And we've seen it with Palace time and time again. Certainly 2 years ago, when Palace looked like they were going to get relegated, Wilfried Zaha genuinely carried that team over the line and in the end scored 15 goals and kept them up. Wilfried Zaha is a good player, and I certainly think he isn't a player that should just be sniffed at and just ignored. I know his age. I know that some people will say, well, you know, if he was at top level, he wouldn't be at Palace anymore. If Palace are keeping his needs and his demands happy, I don't necessarily think he needs to push for a move, and he hasn't. He's told them lots of times he'd like to leave, but he's never actively pushed or done anything mega. A couple of years ago, apparently Everton almost signed him on deadline day. Apparently it was a £57 million and then a £65 million offer. I don't know whether that's true or not, but what I will say is I can understand why Everton want to approach players with his qualities. Another player that I wanted to talk about that Everton have been linked with, again, overnight this morning, is Seelick. Obviously, again, a right back, a creative right back who can defend, go forward. He's creative, can also defend, has got a little bit of pace about him. He's prepared to take a player on. He is a good player. And I've got no doubt in my mind. Did you see me wink there? Fuck, you know. Oh, fuck. Fucking hell. I'm not even going to edit it. I'm going straight through this. He's a player who has got a genuine natural ability at reading the game well as well. You know, from all the things I've seen of him, he seems to just have that little bit of presence about him where he's a little bit clever. He's got a better footballing IQ than most, I would say. And that's why it's a good signing. He's going to be cheaper than Max Aaron's. Again, the only issue for me is I really love Premier League experienced players. You know, players who have played in the league, understand the rigours, the demands, you know, what VAR's like, what playing against different teams every week is, week in, week out. I quite like that. So for me, I think he'd be a good addition, but I do think there's better. But it depends if Everton have got a sort of money-saving exercise, because £30 million for Max Aarons and £15 million for Selig, I can understand why they would make that move. Also, news last night, not Everton, well, not player-related, but apparently Carlo Ancelotti could potentially be interested in a move back to Real Madrid. Now, again, look, I don't think this is happening. I think that is just a fabrication. I think the whole Zidane, Allegri, Pochettino, I think that could all cause a little bit of a chain reaction in managers. But I certainly don't think Carlo Ancelotti is going to leave Everton. He loves where he lives. He loves the club. He loves the people. I don't think it... You can't say it doesn't make sense to go to Real Madrid, because it does. You know, Real Madrid are a bigger club than Everton. You can't argue with that. But I just can't see Carlo doing it. I think conversations that I think we've all heard is that Allegri's going to go to Juventus, Zidane's going to possibly go to PSG, and that sort of leaves Real Madrid with not necessarily knowing who they're going to get. For me, I actually think Conte could go to Madrid. It really wouldn't surprise me. I could see Conte going to Madrid. I'm surprised Spurs aren't going for Conte, but it looks like they're going to have Pochettino back, which probably is an easier option. But I don't know. I'm sort of one of them people that doesn't necessarily want to go back to go forward all the time, because I don't know. He didn't win the French league when I think he could have. He's not won any silverware at Spurs beforehand. I don't know whether it's the right move for Spurs, but look. You know, maybe he's the man that can convince Harry Kane to give it another season. Maybe Poch is the man that can do that. Who knows? But for me, I think it would surprise me massively if Poch can convince Kane to stay, and that also will deteriorate that Spurs side. Everton, a name that has been mentioned just a couple of times. I've seen it on Twitter, and I just wanted to give my thoughts on it. Dele Alli, you know, a ball carrying central midfielder. Can play left, can play right as well. We know he's got a goal in him, can be creative. Probably fell a little bit by the wayside, certainly under Mourinho. He's played a little bit more under Ryan Mason. But again, you know, is he gonna be as instrumental in that Pochettino side if Daniel Levy is going to have to invest? And I don't necessarily think he is. So I think Dele Alli could be up for grabs. For £20 million, £25 million, is Dele Alli a good signing? I think potentially, yeah. I think Dele Alli could be a very good signing. I think he's got all the qualities of a good player. It's just if we can see all them qualities on a regular basis, because I think that's probably what's hit him over the last couple of years. Is maybe inconsistencies. Before then, when he signed for Milton Keynes for such a small nominal fee, he was fantastic. You know, no beating around the bush. The kid was amazing. Then I think it might have got to his head a little bit. Maybe he got a little bit cocky. Again, football players tend to have that. We're currently seeing it with Mason Holgate. I think we've certainly seen it with Jordan Pickford in the past. And you can go one or two ways. It can either kill your career or sort of help you and sort of make you step back and maybe mature a little bit. And I certainly think we've seen that with Jordan Pickford. So maybe he can be maybe Dele Alli can be a little bit like that, if you get what I'm saying, sort of a resurgence again of that world. But look, Dele Alli's a fantastic quality footballer who has got the ability to literally skin someone on the spot. And you never know, maybe Carlo Ancelotti could attract him, a new opportunity in Liverpool, a new opportunity with some good players in that Everton side, you know, promises of strong investment. Wouldn't surprise me, and I think I put a bet on it. Well, I've certainly said it on stream, so it's there to be seen that Everton will finish above Spurs next season. I genuinely believe that. Who knows? Maybe Dele Alli goes, yeah, do you know what? Everton is an attractive proposition. I'll take that step to them. So I could see players like that and potentially coming in. Premier League experience, need to prove a point, because Dele Alli has fell by the wayside. He needs to prove that he can get back into this England side. He needs to prove that he can compete with the Mason Mounts, the Fodens, the Grealishes of this world who sort of playing in around that position. Dele Alli's nowhere near that at the minute. So if he can get in and amongst it, playing consistently, scoring goals, creating goals for Everton, maybe it's a little bit of an opportunity for him. Do Everton want to use him as an opportunity? Probably not. We probably want ready-made, ready to go, hit the ground running. But I do think if you can unlock that box with Dele Alli, I think you've certainly got a very, very decent footballer on your hands there. A little bit snide, a little bit cocky, a little bit arrogant, in a good way. I think that could really work.